Why is ginger a cliche? What? It's just the word ginger a cliche. She's helping by being cute and fluffy. And that is enough. That's just what happens when you edit 300 instances of the word just, 200 instances of the word very, and so on and so on. So let the editing begin. The first thing I want to do is I bought a couple of books on editing that I have not read. So this is The Artful Edit on the practice of editing yourself. And the second one is this, Revision and Self-Editing for Publication. These two books I have not read yet regarding editing. I have a few other books on editing that I have read a while ago, and I should probably just skim through those again just to refresh my memory and pick out if there's anything in them that I have forgotten about. But basically, I want to get through these first, again, to refresh my memory on some techniques and things to look out for. But otherwise, I have already made a checklist last time, and I have one in mind anyway of things I need to fix. But I just think it's a good idea just to get a refresher, and also, you know, I need to read these because I bought them a while ago and I haven't gotten to them yet, but I think this is the perfect time to actually read them, and not when I'm not editing, because I think they would be more useful right before I'm about to edit. Now, just want to mention, I've already done some editing on the draft as I rewrote it, and of course I did a lot of revision, and I know a lot of these tips in these books also have to do with revision, so like revising plot, character development and things like that, which I've already done. So I'm really just looking for prose tips, how to make the pacing better, and obviously any grammar issues and repetition. That's mainly what I'm gonna look for in this round of self-edits. That is, the first step is to read these books. Okay, so little update. I made a list, I think, was it yesterday or no, I think it was 2 days ago or 2 evenings ago. You can see it here. I made an editing checklist and it goes on for a little while. I will make a version of this, an edited version of this for you guys to download if you're interested. I will obviously clean it up and make it nicer. I just thought maybe it might be useful for some of you. I'll just leave it somewhere in the description. I'll let you know when I've made it. Honestly, a lot of the stuff is like crutch words because I use a lot of crutch words in my prose. Stuff like sighed, rolled his eyes, just. Apparently I use sit there a lot, like in so we just sit there for a while, or we just sit there and think, and that kind of stuff I use a lot. It also has stuff like passing the draft through ProWritingAid, which is the first thing I'm gonna do actually, and then removing filter words, passing through a word cloud generator to find the most used words and how many of those are crutch words, and I will update you on that because I think that'll be interesting. And yeah, just a bunch of stuff. I also looked through these 2 books that I've already read, but I just skimmed through them to see if there's anything useful. This is the first 5 pages, and this is Self-Editing for Fiction Writers, and they're both good, but I would really recommend this one because this has, at the end of every chapter, it has a checklist of its own for things to look out for, and I actually added a few things to my own checklist inspired by some of these checklists. But yes, today I think I will start using this checklist, and the first thing, as I said, is, well, the first thing is making a new draft, so a new document, just to, you know, start from a fresh document so I don't change anything in the old one, so that that one stays as is. And then I'm going to pass it through ProWritingAid. I'm going to use their free version, so I'm just going to pass through the manuscript on their website and then look through all of the mistakes and all of the things. And I will share some of that with you, of course, as much as I can without spoiling things, but I will share some of that with you. I also want to mention, because I mentioned this in my last video, that I said I was going to get a proof copy of the draft, of this version of the draft, before line editing. But I think it makes more sense now to me to wait until I finish this part, because then it's like, then after I finish my line edits, I feel like this is the version of the book that I could make it the best it could be without outside help. And then of course I still have to get like a lot of feedback from other people and editors and things like that, and so the book will inevitably change, but I kind of want a version of it that is fully, you know, everything I worked on myself, and then I think that's the one I will get a proof copy for from KDP Amazon and just have it as a book form, and then I can give that to people to read for feedback if I find anyone I know around me who wants to read my book. Otherwise, of course, I will find beta readers online and send them a PDF and things like that. But yeah, just to give you an update on that, I'm not gonna do that. I haven't done that yet. I will do that after I finish these edits. So you'll see that at some point as well, obviously, when I get it. I will obviously show you because that's gonna be very exciting. Okay, so this is ProWritingAid, and I've just waited some time for this real-time issue finder to stop, and it finally reached the end. Then you can see that there is 1,753 issues. A lot of them are style issues, and I have a feeling a lot of them are because I use a lot of foreign German words as well, and you know, I can see some of the suggestions. For example, replacing not easy with difficult, I guess removing simply. Yeah. What else? Just to give you some examples, I guess I'm missing a comma there, things like that. So that's something I need to definitely start going through. And now, of course, I'm not gonna just replace everything they suggest, but I'm gonna see. There was some cool things that you could see. A summary, I think. So again, after a very long time, the summary is finished. Let's see some of the numbers here. It says 71 overall score, 84 spelling, 56 style. So this is the problem, it seems like. So yeah, 75,000. I wonder why that's a lot more than 72,000, which my document says. Interesting. So let's see. Most unusual words: Instagram, selfie, dubstep. Most used words: the, I, to, and it, not, of. Let's see. Okay, so nothing too out of the ordinary there. Readability is good, which is important, obviously. Have 5 overused words. Now here is something interesting. Yeah, feel, initial, new look maybe. Okay, so these ones I kind of thought, but initial, I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. What else? Sentence structure, sentence length. I think it's because, yeah, most of my sentences are long, so that's also something I should work on. 19 hidden verbs, 900 adverbs. That is definitely something I need to look at this. 99 reallys, 25 probably. Yeah, so all of these, or most of these, will go. So this just goes to show that you really, when you're writing, you just overuse certain words without realizing, so I'm gonna have to remove most of those. Top style suggestions. A bit. Yeah, I also use a bit a lot. Alright, really actually that. 400 grammar issues. Oh no. I think that's mostly commas actually. I'm not the best with commas. And yeah, some of these, like I said, I have a lot of German words. Have 33% is dialogue and 30% dialogue tags. I know I do use a lot of dialogue tags, but most of them is say or said, which is good. So I don't use a lot of fancy dialogue tags. This is interesting, this is good. It looks like I don't have a lot of slow pace. Top 9 word phrases. My first edition of The Lord of the Rings, apparently I used that twice. Interesting. The first thing that pops into my head twice. I didn't escape my overprotective family to stumble. Okay, I know why that is. Adam and I were supposed to go beneath the winged point. Okay, that's a clue. That is on purpose. This is on purpose. These two and this are not on purpose, so that I need to change. In the middle of the table. Okay, so that's something I need to fix, because that appears way too much. Same with that, I have no idea what. Same with that. 100 cliches, rack my brains. Okay, see, that's something that I need to take out because I used it 3 times apparently. Alright, see, that is very interesting. That is very, very interesting. I think that should be it. I should just start plowing through these, changing things, and hopefully improving those numbers. And I'm obviously going to pass it through again at the end after I changed everything myself and then see if the numbers improved at all. Hopefully they will. So just an update. Yesterday evening I spent about maybe 2 to 3 hours going through the first 9 chapters of the book with ProWritingAid, fixing or ignoring their suggestions. I have 43 chapters, so hopefully today I can do more than that. more than the 9 that I did yesterday and go through this quickly, because obviously this is just one part. Like, I'm gonna have to do multiple passes, and this is just one tool that can spot some things, but I need to go back and just see if, you know, the sentences are nice, not just grammatically correct, but actually if the sentences do their job, or if there are different words I can use to say things better. But I really want to get through this pass of ProWritingAid as soon as I can in the next couple of days, and then I can move on to the other things that I want to look out for, and many more passes. It's not a quick edit because you need to do multiple passes looking for different things every time. And just to mention yesterday, so I did 9 chapters, and you know the little corrections number that I showed you last time? It was at 1,900 or something, and then I got it down to 1,400, I think, just in those 9 chapters, right? So yeah, I'll hopefully get that number down to, well, to 0, I suppose. Hello, today is Monday the 17th, and I did a bit more editing yesterday because I did a lot of other things on the weekend, so I didn't have that much time. But I did some more work yesterday, Sunday, and I am now down to 887 errors. So that's what that is showing right now, and I am at chapter 22, so it is so freaking hot. Excuse my really sweaty face. Yes, the plan is to finish the ProWritingAid pass today. I have to go run an errand now. Work is done. I'm still working from home. I will sit my butt down on that chair and finish those 887 issues that ProWritingAid says it is issues. Most of them I found out are not really issues. Most of them is just me using foreign words like German words or video game terms or social media terms or things like that that are not considered words but are actually words, and so most of it is just me ignoring their suggestions. But honestly, a lot of it is some really nice suggestions of how to fix different things, and of course a lot of grammatical mistakes like missing commas. Apparently I have a problem with commas. I either put one where there shouldn't be a comma, or I don't put commas where there should be a comma. That is something I learned. Thanks, ProWritingAid. Also, look what came in today in the mail. Oh my god, this is huge. This is huge. If you don't know, this is Midnight Sun. This is Twilight from Edward's point of view, and it is massive. Look at the size compared to Twilight. Like, Edward, can you not have so many thoughts, please? And anyway, I started reading this. Well, I only read like the first page because I'm gonna make a video about it, yes, unfortunately. I set this up for myself when I made a video about Twilight, and I thought I have to. So that's another thing I'm gonna do in the next, God, I don't even know, a long time. This is, look at this, why? Okay, so it is the 19th. And I'm done going through all of the suggestions from ProWritingAid. I've done them all. I'm not going to go through, you know, it says nothing here. And I just want to check the summary now to see if that has improved. Oh, here it is. And you can already see that it's much better than last time. I think I remember this score specifically was like 45 or something. So already, just by going through their suggestions and either changing or ignoring them, I did a lot of ignoring, to be fair, it already improved these numbers. Of course, it doesn't mean much, but I think it's better. It's looking better. I still have a lot of these that I haven't gone through. These numbers are a little lower. I still need to go through them more, obviously. I will do a search in Word for every probably, and probably delete them all. See, this is why I have so many of these, because I use them, you know, to talk, but you're not supposed to use them in fiction that much. Why is it out a cliche? Why is ginger a cliche? What? It's just the word ginger a cliche. Alright, so that part is done. And if you can see, after I exported back the document in Word from ProWritingAid, the word count went down because I deleted stuff and I rewrote some sentences, based off of the ProWritingAid recommendations, and so it went down about 1,000 words? Maybe more, actually. Interesting. Okay, so it is Saturday and I'm planning on doing some more editing, but I really needed some coffee first. So right now this is what I'm doing. I've searched for the word see in Word and it had about like 130 instances of the word, but I got it down to 86 and I'm still going through it and trying to see if there's ways I can remove it or replace it or make the sentence more interesting so that I don't use, you know, so much see, seen, saw. So I don't know how realistic this is, but I'm thinking today I want to go through as many of these filter words as possible. So now I'm working on seen, but I know some of these I'll have a lot, like think, know, realize, could. I definitely have that a lot. So I don't think it's realistic to go through all of them today, but I'm gonna try to do as many as possible, because as you saw, like see for example, I had like 130 instances, which is a lot if you have to go through each one and figure out, okay, what do I want to say in this? You know, can I remove it? Can I replace it with something else? So, and a lot of that is just sitting and thinking, which takes a while. I'm also streaming Dynamite, or just generally just listening to it, honestly, because it's so freaking good. I've been listening to it so much, and look at this, 126 million views in a bit over 24 hours is insane. Just to give you an idea, I've finished with seen and now I'm looking at think, and as you can see there are 273 instances of think or similar, so thoughts in this 70,000 word manuscript, so I'm going to try to bring that number down a bit. Surprisingly, I'm actually getting there. I managed to cross off quite a few of these. And right now I'm looking at watch, and I still have know, choose, could, give, feel, which I think I'll also have a lot of those. But actually this might be doable today to cross off all of these. So it is the next day, and actually yesterday I did quite a lot more progress than I thought. I didn't go through all of the filter words, but I got through most of them, and this morning I only had could and feel left, and I'm done with feel and now I'm working on could. I wanted to show you that I've dropped under 70,000 words now, and I'm at 69,568. Which, you know, I knew was going to happen, and it's probably going to go down even further, but hopefully everything that's left are good words and, you know, not repetitions or adverbs or things that don't express things as well as they should. Yes. I also have an assistant here that is not assisting very much, she's just being cute. She's helping by being cute and fluffy. And that is enough. That is enough. Hello, there's a plant here. This is what that is. So a little update. I went through a lot more of these. I started looking through the Crutch words and going through the manuscript and deleting as many of them as I can. And so I finished with things like a bit, for some time, stuff, very. There was a lot of veries and just. So that's kind of what that looks like right now. And last night I did just, and I had about, like, I think 290 instances of just, and sometimes like a few on the same page, which is really bad. And I think I got it down to about 45 or something like that. My cat has joined us, but I still think I can get it down lower than that, but that's kind of just going through the whole manuscript and just deleting it where it really didn't need to be there. And then I'll go through it once again to see which ones I should keep, because obviously you should keep some instances where you really feel like it really helps emphasizing the line, and I kept it where I felt like it really helped to emphasize, but of course 40 something instances is still a bit much, so I'm gonna have to go through it again. Today I'm gonna go through some more. I know laugh and nod are big ones because I know I use those a lot, like as dialogue tags, or you know, he laughed, he nodded, things like that. So I'm gonna have to go through and remove some of them. Also sighing, you know, rolling eyes, that's very common. Crutch words. Yeah, I have a really long list that I need to go through. And also I decided to skip passing the manuscript through a word cloud to find the most common words, because I already kind of know the most common words. I already have them in here in a list, so I'm gonna skip that. And for now I'm just working on scanning the manuscript for repeated words and then deleting as many of them as I can while still keeping the sense of the sentence, or finding a better way to say the same thing which doesn't include the crutch word. But I have a lot to go through, so this is going to take a while. And the manuscript is now down to about 69,000 words. So it's down about 3,000 words, which is quite a lot. But yeah, that's just what happens when you edit 300 instances of the word just, 200 instances of the word very, and so on and so on. So today is a Sunday, and I think I'm going to end this vlog here because it's already going on for too long. And yeah, it's going to be, obviously, I'll have different parts of this because it is quite a long process. But just to give you an update, I finished sort of the first page of the crutch words. I've gone through all of them and quite a few of some of the rest here. Well, I've done stuff, sudden, and suddenly, and now I'm looking at even. Where did I even write that? I don't know, but I'm looking at even currently, and I have, I think, about 100 or so instances where I use the word even. And the thing is, I realized, so right now my word count is below 69k, so it's like 68,900 something, but I realized that because the way I'm doing it is I'm looking up the words in Word and then highlighting the sentences where it is in and either deleting it or replacing it with something else. But a lot of the times, or some of the times, I feel like it makes the sentence that remains flat or the dialogue flat. And so I'm going to have to, after I go through all of the crutch words, or at least the more important ones, the ones I feel like are there a lot, I think I will do some read-throughs, either reading aloud or maybe text-to-speech, which I was gonna do anyway, but specifically so that I find places where I've taken out these words and now the sentence is flat, and so I can rewrite it then to, or maybe in some instances I'll have to put back some of these words or similar words to not make the sentence so flat. That is very hard to explain, but I have gone through a few sentences in the beginning where I'm like, yeah, something is missing here because I took out some of these crutch words and now that sentence is more flat or doesn't convey the emotion I want or the humor that I want, that I intended for it. So I'm gonna have to go through and read aloud and then fix that at some point, but that'll be in one of the next videos, I guess. So yeah, that was the first part, and following me along as I edit this draft. I really hope you enjoyed this and maybe found some tips for how you can edit your own novels. I honestly really like this process. I used to really love editing and not like drafting so much, but now I really love drafting, but I also like editing. I think the part that I don't like so much is revising, which is slightly different. It's kind of editing at the same time, but it's not really because it more focuses on the bigger picture stuff, but technical editing is easier, but it just takes a lot of time and you just kind of sit and stare at a sentence for 20 minutes and try to figure out how to rewrite it to make it sound better. So it does take a lot of time, but I do really like this process, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this and I'll see you in the next editing vlog for Hunting Vienna. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time. Bye!